The Full Circle. With DC. And a very, very, very good day, everybody. My name is DC. I am the host of The Full Circle, a podcast where we link songs together with the last song linking to the first song, hence completing the full circle. I have a very special guest today. We worked together in 2022 talking about our love of music, travel and health and a whole load of other things, and we have remained friends ever since. He's a top guy and it's an absolute pleasure to have him on the show. His name is Christian Hesford. Boom, 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 boom. Hey Christian, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Thanks very much for having me. Lovely intro as always.
Pleasure, absolute pleasure. How have you been keeping? How's your weekend been?
My weekend's been good. It's been quite a chilled one this weekend. Seen some friends, been for a run, had some nice coffees. So yeah, it's been really good.
Nice. What run did you go for?
It was just a run club. One of my friends across the road does a 5k run club on Saturday mornings. So quite an easy pace, but always good to go out and get a bit social with it.
Nice. Do you not do park runs?
We do, but we alternate between the two. So park runs stopped over summer because in Finsbury Park there's so many events on. So now we kind of alternate between 1 week at park run and then 1 week doing it around a different park.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, hopefully you're all rested and great to have you on the show. How are you feeling about being on the Full Circle?
I'm looking forward to it. I've been listening quite a lot over the past couple of weeks since you told me about it. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, you've got some really good guests on. The Frank Turner and Ocean Grove are a band that I only just discovered through the podcast recently and been listening to them, and they're absolutely awesome. So really enjoying it.
No, thanks so much. And absolute pleasure to have you on the show. I mean, we've been to a few gigs together and obviously we can talk about that in a bit. And you absolutely love music and you've got such a breadth, like you're so diverse in terms of your music choices. And I'm assuming you're full. I mean, I don't want to get, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but is it going to be like quite diverse or are we going to be fixed on one genre?
Definitely diverse. I've tried to pick 5 songs that cover a breadth of different music styles because I think similar to yourself, I have interest in pretty much every genre of music. So it's quite difficult to narrow it down.
Nice. Let's talk about your first song choice. What's the first song that you've chosen for the Full Circle?
So first song, we have a mutual love of one of our favourite bands, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We saw them together quite a few years ago now. Well, you saw them 2 days on the run, didn't you? I just saw them on the second day. A band that I've grown up with, always loved. And my song by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I'm actually repping them today, wearing the t-shirt. I've chosen Zephyr Song by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Not an unusual one, but one of their lesser loved ones, I think. But for me, it always reminds me of a very specific time in my life when I was traveling through Central America. Always makes me think of beautiful summers and long days. And yeah, it's just a song I absolutely love.
That's a great song. Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Zephyr Song and the first song. And by the way, it's just a top album.
So good. It's impossible to choose from Californication to By the Way for me. Either of those, one of my favourite albums of all time. The first album I ever bought myself was actually Stadium Arcadium from local Woolworths as a kid. Went down with my pocket money, bought Stadium Arcadium. Very proud of that as a first album.
And that is an album. That 28 songs of just incredibleness.
Yeah.
Which side did you prefer? Mars, the first disc or the second disc?
I think first disc. It's got some of the bigger hits on. The second disc, obviously great, but I think I probably always preferred the first.
Yeah, I think the first disc has better songs overall, but the second one, Mars, has a song called Turn It. It's Turn It Again. Do you remember that one? It's like got a 3-minute guitar solo at the end, which is just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I love that one.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, nice. No, really solid song choice. And yes, we saw them together and that was actually the first gig we went to together. That was how we realized. Yeah, that was how I think we realized, oh, actually we're into quite similar taste, similar music. So
because their most recent album had just come out recently and I'd been to, because it was at London Stadium and I'd been there on I think the Friday night for the triple header of Fall Out Boy, Weezer and Green Day.
You were there?
I was at the triple header, yeah, the day before.
We were there as well.
For the triple header, were you?
Yeah, we must have just not realised. That is so
didn't
funny.
Know that at all. Yeah, what a gig that was as well.
Yeah, that was a very last minute one because a couple of friends of ours, I think I'd just finished some night shifts and a couple of friends of ours couldn't go anymore because I don't know if it was...
I think maybe we've talked about this before and just forgotten. That was great fun.
That was fun. Yeah, that was a top weekend. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Right, I want to hear a fun fact from you. A fun fact that you've never. Well, I just want to check. Is this your podcast debut?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's a fun fact you're willing to share in public that maybe not many people know about you, and hopefully I don't know this.
It's the one that I normally go to in those two lies, one true thing. As a child, I ate a hula hoop that roughly cost, I think it was 10 grand, something like that. So, yeah,
What?
I know. So, when I must have been like 4 or 5, there was a hula hoop competition where if you found the star-shaped hula hoop, there was a big cash prize. Might have been £100, might have been £1,000. It was a good chunk of money. And I was sitting watching the TV, eating my hula hoops as a kid, and found this funny shaped hula hoop. So I went into the kitchen and showed my mum, and look at this, mum, look at this. She said, oh yeah, I think she was on the phone or cooking or something. She said, oh, that's nice, Christian, just go back and watch TV again. So I did, and then I saved it till last and then ate it. And then a little while later, when my mum was clearing up, she realised her mistake with the competition rules on the pack.
Oh, so what should you have done?
Should have just kept it. And then I'm not entirely sure. Again, I was very young, but it was one of those, they always used to do those strange competitions when we were growing up. And that was one of them. So it would have been worth, again, might have been only £100, but it was a good amount of money for a hula hoop.
Wow. Did it taste like that? Did it taste like that amount of money, would you say?
I would say so. Yeah. There was just something really special about it. So I would eat it again, even if I had it right now. Yeah.
Oh dear. Like you live and learn. I'm sure you won't do that again.
No, if I ever get the opportunity again, although maybe I would do it just to the laugh.
Just for lols. Oh my goodness. Depends how much it is. How much it is. I mean, if it's a 5, well, no, I don't want to.
Okay, what would your limit be? I guess any amount, really, surely, because anything more than a packet of hula hoops is worth.
That's true, actually. Now you've said that, I think, yeah, no. I think if it involves getting a prize, I'd upset. I guess how upset would I be, depending on if I did something like that accidentally. I think if it was a £5, I'd be a little bit like, that's annoying. If it was a £10, less like I think if it was more than 50 quid, I think I would then get very annoyed. I don't know. What would you say?
I mean, yeah, I think thinking about it, really, anything that's more than a packet of hula hoops, I'd probably, depending on what kind of hoops I had to jump through, pardon the pun.
Hey, yeah. Nice. Can you actually hula hoop, just out of interest?
I mean, it's not something I've done for a very long time. I'd give it a go.
Maybe on your travels.
Yeah, they do a lot of hula hooping in Australia and New Zealand, the national sport.
Yeah.
I'll send you if I find one. I'll send you a video.
Yeah. And are you happy for everyone to see it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Okay.
Try and get the classic hula gear, with the
excellent,
the coconut bra and the hula skirt. Yeah, I'll go all out.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. I think that would do hits. I think people would love to see that. Yeah. I tell you what, let's link it. Let's go straight to the second song. So Red Hot Chili Peppers, a Zephyr song. How does that link to the second song on the Full Circle?
So Red Hot Chili's are a band I've seen twice. The first time I saw them was at Leeds Festival with a day ticket in 2016. I've also seen at Leeds back in 2010 was Pendulum, which again is a band that we both love. So my second song is Colour Fast by Pendulum off their new album. Again, when they released this album, I'd heard Colour Fast so many times at different gigs that I've been to, and it's been out for a relatively long time, and it sounds like one of their classic songs. I was shocked that it wasn't off an earlier album when Inertia came out. I absolutely love it. I'm a big fan of that album in general. I think more of a fan than you are. Colour Fast is probably one of my favourite songs off that album.
Nice, really good song choice. Pendulum, Colour Fast. Now, yeah, you're right. I think I loved their first 3 albums so much. Like, I think Hold Your Colour, In Silico, Immersion are 3 of, like, I think they are fantastic. Just fantastic albums. And I think maybe I had just had, and then they released that EP. Was it called Elemental? It had like Come Alive, Louder Than Words, and a couple of others. And they were Nothing for Free. And that again was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be incredible. And then then they released another EP. Then the album came out, and yes, it was decent. It was good. I think I just had too high expectations because their first three albums for me were like my favorites. And I think when you've got that expectation and when it doesn't meet them, maybe 100%. That was the issue I had.
I think that's the same kind of issue with Sleep Token, with that perfect trio of albums that all link back to each other. How do you follow up with from that? I think maybe because I always loved Pendulum growing up, but maybe I wasn't that as enthusiastic as you. And I have much more fond memories of seeing them live playing some of the newer songs. So when the album came out, I can associate a lot of the songs with really positive memories of having seen them quite a few times over the past 2 or 3 years alone.
Yeah, because we were going to see them. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it in the end. We were going to see them at Outernet, the intimate one, which I'm gutted that I couldn't go.
It was a good gig. It was a heavy gig, though. A lot of people turned up expecting drum and bass, and it was much more of a heavy gig. It was a sweaty gig.
No, I like this one. This is one of my favourites on the album as well. Pendulum Colour Fast, the second song on the Full Circle. Right, are you ready for some Would You Rather? All specific to you, apart from one, which is a bit random. I always do a bit of an outlier to see what people think. Would you rather go to Tomorrowland or Glastonbury?
Excellent question. I've been to Tomorrowland twice. Incredible festival. Would encourage anyone to go, even if they're not the biggest fan of EDM. It's such a unique place, such a unique feeling. Love it. At this time, I would probably pick Glastonbury, purely because I've only been once. And the time I was there, I was working for Oxfam. So I got a really good time, got to see all of the acts. I got lucky with the job that I got. It was basically promoting Oxfam. So the shifts were early in the day and I finished quite early. But I haven't been back since then and I really want to go back. So at this point in my life, definitely Glastonbury.
Nice. How easy is it to get tickets to Tomorrowland, or is it just as difficult as Glastonbury?
I can't compare because, again, I've never tried for Glastonbury tickets. Notoriously, they're difficult. Tomorrowland isn't easy, but there are different, without getting too technical about it, there's lots of different tiers. If you go for the cheapest ticket of camping, they sell out really quick. If you go for the tickets that have a package involved, like the Global Journey, where it includes Eurostar and it includes everything else, because they're more expensive, they're more exclusive. So the more you're willing to pay, the better your chance of getting a ticket, basically.
Okay, so it sounds like it sounds like basically if you got the money, it might be easier. Glastonbury, I think it's a bit more of a free for all. And
exactly.
Which year did you go? Which year did you go to Glastonbury? The time when you
2017. So it was the year that I graduated uni and was moving down to London. So the summer of 2017, which was headliner Radiohead, Foo Fighters and Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I was there as well. What an incredible one that was.
It was.
Incredible one.
It's such a unique festival, again, because there's so much to do there. Even if you're not the biggest fan of the music, at Glastonbury, it doesn't matter, really, because you can find something with all the stuff that goes on in the day and all the clubs at night. You could always find something to do. So it's really unique from that perspective, whereas Tomorrowland is much more about the acts. It finishes at midnight. There's no midnight or 1 o'clock. There's no clubs. There's nothing on site after that. Whereas Glastonbury is just, you could turn up on the Thursday and not go to bed until you leave on the Monday.
Yeah, 100%. You went to Tomorrowland this year though, didn't you?
I did, this year and 2 years ago as well.
Nice. This year was the year that unfortunately a part of the set got burnt down.
The entire of the main stage got burnt down, which was so the day before we were going to go, which was obviously horrible. The incredible thing was firstly the response by the team. So they managed to set up a replacement main stage that was Metallica's touring stage that they must have had in storage somewhere. So they shipped that over and had it set up midway through the Friday, through the Saturday, the Friday, which is the first day, which is an incredible feat in itself and looked amazing, especially because you could see like the remains of the main stage in the background. They'd knocked some of it down, but once it was made to be or judged to be stable and safe, they kept that up and it looked quite interesting, really. But also just the fact that it happened before the festival and no one was hurt is absolutely amazing, and that's the most important thing.
That's true. No, and I'm glad it was still okay and it was still great. You had the best time. So yeah.
Just the other thing about Tomorrowland is that there's so many amazing stages. Each of the stages at Tomorrowland could be a main stage at any other festival, because they put so much effort into all of them. So
you're convincing me. Okay, I'm gonna have to have a look at this.
Have a look, consider it. It's not cheap, but it is maybe as a once in a lifetime bucket list thing. It is it's great.
Now we've mentioned both these bands already. One of them you've chosen for the song. Would you rather see Sleep Token live or Pendulum live?
I would have to say Sleep Token, because I've only seen them once, and Pendulum I've seen at least 3, maybe 4 times now, in various different settings. So I saw them, as I say, at Leeds Festival a long time ago, seen them at Alternet in that very intimate, heavy set. I saw them again that same year at Drum Sheds, which was a much more EDM focused, very different environment. Those were all amazing, but I've only seen Sleep Token once, which was when we went to go see them at the O2 last December. Absolutely fantastic. Such a good show. The production value was amazing. Huge fan. I really do enjoy it. Certainly the first half of their newest album. I think it peters out a little bit in the second half, but there are some absolute bangers from that album. I would love to see them again.
Yeah, fair. It's a tough one for me as well, because I think I would prefer to see Sleep Token, because I have seen Pendulum probably more times as well. I think I've seen Sleep Token... Well, I saw them twice in the end when we did it. I think we got seated ones as well, because just to see what the experience was like seated, it's different.
I would always go for standing, preferably, I think. Even though my knees start to ache and I start to feel a bit tired after the first 10 minutes.
More recently, just because of like certain events, we've gone for like seated tickets for certain gigs, and it does make a bit of like it means we don't have to get there earlier. It means you can relax, you can use the toilet, you can get out and use the loo, it's a different vibe. I mean, yeah, when you stand, like when we stood for Parkway Drive and we were right at the front for that was pretty cool. But sitting down and seeing everything around you and just seeing it all, I don't know, I can see both sides. I can really see both sides.
It's definitely a different experience. I think sitting down always strikes me as a more relaxed experience. Like you take more in, but I always feel standing is more immersive. And I guess because I don't go to quite as many gigs as you, if I'm going to go to a gig, I want to be immersed in it for the most part.
That's fair. Would you rather, a non-music one, never be able to travel again, or never be able to go to the gym or do any form of exercise again?
You really are tailoring these to me, aren't you? I love travel so much. Especially this year, I've been really, really fortunate in that I've managed to go to lots of different countries, see lots of different things. But my day-to-day and my job revolve around exercise and running and going to the gym. So I know that I just couldn't live without that. As much as I love traveling for both my physical and my mental health, I could not give up all forms of exercise. So it would have to be travel, which would be devastating. By the way, what do we count as travel? Is it just outside the UK? Can I still go back to Manchester? Can I still kind of go around the UK a bit? Okay, well, I
can't leave the country.
Okay, I could make the most of a lot of the beautiful places in the UK. I would be sad not to see the rest of the world, but yeah, as a day-to-day thing, there's no way I could live without the gym. Hope that doesn't sound too sad.
No, that's I was, these questions I asked you, I was like, these questions would be tough for me apart from the Tomorrowland Glastonbury, but that would be tough for me as well. Like I like exercising, and for my mental health, exercise is really important. Traveling is something that I've definitely got more into in my working life, I guess, because I guess it was just a bit trickier to do that when I didn't have maybe as much funds. But it's one of those things where it's really tough. It's really tough to make that call, and I guess for my mental health, it probably would be better to exercise more, but I'd be a bit sad.
You'd be missing out for sure, but I get so much enjoyment from exercise and keeping fit and all of that thing, and because of my job as well, I think it's important for me to do it. So
fair. What is your job for those that don't know?
So I'm a doctor, like yourself. I work for Nuffield Health in the private sector at the moment. So I do a mixture of GP, and I also do health assessments with them, which is basically like lifestyle coaching. So clients will come in and I will get their blood results and their physical measurements, and then we talk about ways that they could improve their health from sleep to stress management to nutrition to exercise, and also cover things that they're worried about. Basically go through an hour-long assessment of their mental and physical health and try and improve them in whatever way they need to or want to.
Nice. And actually, I'm now curious. If you had like one lifestyle tip or, hack, as they like to call it, which maybe not a lot of people know or may not do, what would you say?
My focus would have to start with sleep. It is the foundation of your entire health. And once you start to get a really good sleep schedule, really good quality sleep, minding alcohol, minding caffeine, all of those kind of things, promoting it through exercise. Especially in our job, there are periods where we go through very difficult shift patterns. We do nights, or I used to do nights. Luckily, I don't do that anymore. You start to realize just how important sleep is and how you feel when you don't get enough sleep compared to when you do. We know there's so many negative health outcomes from not getting enough sleep, which most people don't. And when you start to get that, everything else becomes easier. It's easier to eat well when you've had a good night's sleep. It's easier to exercise and have energy when you've had a good night's sleep. It's easier to manage your stress when you've had a good night's sleep. So to me, that is the foundation that everything else is built on. And it's something I take very seriously.
I know you do. I mean, what time do you go to bed? Like 9?
Yeah, normally 9, 9:30. I'll read for a bit. I had a very good night's sleep with the clocks going back last night, which was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, in mental health as well, it is so important. I see so many people and a lot of it is attributed to limited sleep, and it can unfortunately just lead to mental health difficulties. And yeah, it is so fundamental and so crucial. And like you say, it repairs muscle, but it also recharges the brain, and it's so important. And yeah, I think I completely agree with that. Completely agree with Christian's words of wisdom right there. Right.
Thank you very much.
Right, this one again, I don't know this one because I don't know what you'd rather. It's a bit of a shifty one. Would you rather be able to work out when someone is lying, like all the time, or be able to get away with every lie you tell, like no one can ever figure out you were lying?
I would probably go with the first, being able to tell when other people lie. Obviously that would be useful entirely in general. I feel like if I went with the second one, it might encourage me to lie more, and that's not something I want to do at all. Like, I don't want to lie. I want to be as honest and open as I possibly can with the people I love and with clients and friends and everyone. It's something I hold quite important to me. So I don't want anything that might jeopardize that. Not that I think being found out is the reason that I don't do it, but let's just say it wouldn't be as useful to me, because I try to be very open and honest and transparent with people. Whereas picking up on other people's lies, I think that would be interesting. Apart from the white lies that people tell, it would be difficult to say if someone said, "Oh, I like your shirt, Christian." Actually, I know they're just saying it to be nice.
I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Well, I know you're not lying in this case because it's Red Hot Chili's. I might find some things out about myself, my fashion, that I might not like, but maybe that's a good thing as well. I prefer people to be completely honest with me. Or
I would rather people were completely honest to me. I think I would be a bit upset if I knew that someone was lying to me. It would be a bit upsetting knowing that they were lying to me. But you are right. Like, the naughty side of me would find it quite funny to just be like, say a lie and just, like, it's one of those where, like, I feel like the right answer is being able to work out when someone's lying. Like, let's be honest here. That feels like that's the right answer.
Yeah, that's the public podcast answer, isn't it? If we were doing this in private, we just,
If we're doing it in private, it would still be that answer. We just want to say it would still be that answer.
Of course.
No, but I would, like, just a little part of me, like a little like 1% of me, and maybe a bit more, would be like, do you know what? It would be quite cool to just say whatever you want, and everyone thinks you're always telling the truth. I mean, that's not nice.
But that's
a good thing to do.
Isn't that the basis of that awful Ricky Gervais film, The Invention of Lying, essentially? I think I watched it on a plane once. Basically, he's in a world where no one can lie, and he invents lying. So everyone just believes that he's the truth. And essentially, I think he gets praised as God or something. I remember it very vaguely, didn't really pay much attention, but yeah, he's essentially the only person in the world who can lie. And because he invents lying, no one else knows that it's possible. So they just believe everything he says.
That's clever. And yeah, if you can say like, you know, like things that are probably unusual things that you can do, like people can do, like I can fly, you know, things like that, then yeah, they will think you're a higher being, I guess. Yeah,
as long as you don't get asked to prove that.
Yeah, that's true. But that's a bit of a paradox then. Like, yeah, so then they'll know that I'm lying. So there are some exceptions here. Okay, fair enough. That's a good point. Okay, last one. Back to music. Would you rather, this is not to do with live music, it's just listening. Would you rather only listen to Taylor Swift forever, so no one else, just Taylor Swift's music and no one else, or Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I mean, you've picked two people on opposite ends of the spectrum that I both love. Again, we're talking about a wild music taste. Big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, but also big Taylor Swift fan. Not managed to see her live, which is a shame. I would have to pick Red Hot Chili's though. I would be doing a disservice to my childhood me if I didn't pick them. Plus, it's a little bit more of a respectable answer, I suppose.
Dear, have you listened to... I'm not the biggest fan of Taylor Swift. I don't mind some of her songs, but I don't listen to her music much. Have you listened to her new album?
A little bit. It hasn't grabbed me in the same way some of the previous stuff has. I haven't really sat down and put it on to have a full listen through, but not as much as previously. But yeah, I'm a big fan of some of her earlier work. I would definitely like to see her live. Would have liked to during the Eras tour for sure.
Hopefully next time. Do you think she'll be announcing a tour anytime soon?
She's a busy woman. Who knows? She's constantly putting out new songs and albums. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll put a deluxe edition out when one of her rivals, when one of her other fellow musicians has released something on the same week. Or
yeah.
But she's getting married. She's engaged now, isn't she? She's engaged and...
Yeah, she is. I don't tend to keep up much with many celebrity stories, to be honest. Even people whose music I enjoy, beyond listening to them, I'm really bad. Celebrity names, we go to a pub quiz most Tuesdays around the corner from here, and whenever there is a celebrity picture identification or celebrity voices, I'm useless. Absolutely useless.
Fair enough. I get most of mine from Abby, in fairness. So yeah.
There you go.
Okay, thank you so much for answering them. Good to know a bit about you and your interests, and not just music related. Right, how does Pendulum Colourfast link to the next song in the Full Circle?
Pendulum are, as I've said, a band I've seen quite a few times at various different venues. I mentioned I've seen them at drum sheds, and another act I've seen at drum sheds is Subfocus. So spreading out from another similar music, but much more EDM focused. Subfocus is an act that I've seen probably at least 6 times, I would say, at various different places, and big fan of their work. So my next song, difficult to pick just one from Subfocus, but I would pick Off the Ground from one of their more recent albums.
Nice. Subfocus, Off the Ground, the third song on the Full Circle. I like Subfocus as well. I actually quite like the first time. I got it in vinyl, actually. Oh my goodness, but I can't remember what it's called now.
He's got a fantastic discography, and he's putting out a lot of really good singles recently. Yeah, managed to see him during his recent tour at Ali Pali as well, back in like February of this year, which was really good.
Nice. And I think I saw recently, I think it's sold out. I wasn't, but apparently I don't know if you were able to get tickets. Oh no, you're not going to be in the UK at this time, but I think he's doing like a signing, like in a little gig, like Rough Trade East or something like that.
Yeah, he's doing an intimate one, which again, as you say, I won't be able to go to, which would be a shame.
Sorry. Hopefully you can catch him
whenever. There will be something next. Yeah, I've seen him. He was at Tomorrowland this year. He's been at drum sheds a lot. So
nice. Great song choice. Subfocus, Off the Ground, the third song on the Full Circle. Right. I want to ask you some favourites. Just some favourite moments of yours or favourite things. Now, the first one is I think this is going to be tough, but let's see. What's your favourite gig that you've ever attended?
That is a really difficult question. Okay. A lot is standing out. So obviously, the first time I saw Red Hot Chili's is a big one for me as a band that I grew up with and that means so much to me. That was a day festival at Leeds, a day ticket at Leeds, though. It was very muddy and it was a lot of effort to get there and back. Another one that really sticks out was when I saw Foo Fighters at Glastonbury. I like Foo Fighters. I think that they haven't had particularly good albums since Wasting Light, but they've got so many great singles that they managed to do an incredible set, just hit after hit. And I remember that being a fantastic experience, even though it was a festival gig and not just them. It was just such a good night. I really enjoyed that. I would really struggle. I've been very fortunate to go to a lot of different gigs. Like we said, the triple header was fantastic. And I saw Red Hot Chili's again at the London Stadium. And some of the smaller ones we've been to, like you and I went to go see Soft Play earlier this year. I saw Beartooth last year at Ali Pali, which was great. Big fan of them. Let's say my first ever Red Hot Chili's gig, because it ticked off a bucket list item for me.
That's a good choice. I did love the one we saw together because that was the first time I saw John Frusciante.
Yes.
At the Chili's, and just hearing his guitar tone live. I mean, no disrespect to Josh Klinkover, like he did well, and he's good. It's just different. Like, you don't want to be mean. It's just a different style, and I think live it just comes across as so just incredible, and just that feeling. It just gives you goosebumps. Like, even talking about it now.
Yeah, I mean, when got that lineup of Chad Smith, Flea, John Frusciante on guitar, you've got some of the best to ever do it in each of their respective fields. It's just an incredible sight. And then obviously Anthony Kiedis doing his thing at the front.
Yeah, character he is. Absolute character. All I was going to add as well was also for me, seeing Hybrid Theory in full at Download by Linkin Park, like that was something special for me.
I never got to see Chester perform, which I am really upset about, because they didn't make this cut, but Linkin Park were a band that I was trying to shoehorn into this, because they were another formative band for me, something that I grew up with and still listen to regularly. And it would have been amazing to have seen them in the original lineup before, obviously, everything happened, which was such a shame.
Yeah, maybe next time we'll have a Linkin Park one on your Full Circle return, which I'm hoping will happen at some point.
Yeah, me too. There's been a lot of different bands in different eras that I wasn't able to get into just with 5 songs. I wish there'd been 10 or 20. So I'll definitely try and come back and maybe do a themed one, an early noughties one, or
If we did that though, we would have been way past your bedtime, so that just couldn't have happened.
That's true. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy already.
All right, I didn't realise it was that boring. No, I'm joking.
I can't tell a lie.
Oh yeah. Good one. Dear, oh dear. Okay, what's, big traveller, what's your favourite destination, your favourite place you've ever been to?
Again, so difficult. I, again, am really fortunate to have been to lots of different countries, both inside Europe and outside. I absolutely loved Central America when I went for my elective, which is something that you get to do as a medical student for those not in medicine. You basically get a period of time when you can go and work abroad in a different country. And I went to Central America. Absolutely loved it. Everything from the food to the people. It was the longest time that I'd been away at that point. It was a good 2.5 months, I think, and just had an incredible time with some really good friends, seeing lots of different countries, doing lots of amazing things. So that would certainly be on there, that part of the world. So let's pick either Guatemala or Nicaragua, for example.
Nice. No, great shout. And you're traveling to Australia for how long is it?
So it's 4 months in total. I'm going to be away. Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia and the Philippines, making the most of being over that side of the world.
Incredible. What an incredible experience. You hadn't been to any of those places before, right?
No, never. Been on the bucket list for a long time. Got lots of friends from Australia and New Zealand here in London who constantly talk about it. So I'm very excited to see it for myself. A hot Christmas, a summer Christmas is going to be an interesting experience.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to get that. I actually wore my Christmas jumper on the beach.
I bet you fit in well with everyone else doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
In the UK, it's a must-do tradition. So maybe I'll do the same. Maybe I'll take mine out there.
Maybe. It's so weird there, because obviously on Christmas Day here, everything shuts down. In Australia, like buses are... in Sydney, I don't know what it's like everywhere else, but in Sydney, buses were just constant. Everyone's at Bondi Beach or other beaches. And yeah, it was just incredible. What a different experience.
It seems like a completely different day again, because, it's a summer day as opposed to here where you're hunkered down inside and keeping cozy. Whereas out there, surfing and barbecues on the beach.
It takes some getting used to, but it was cool. Okay. Spoke about being a massive gym goer, and actually I've got a special quiz just for that in a second. But what's your favorite gym exercise?
That is a great question. I would probably pick the deadlift. It's not something I am doing in my rotation at the moment, but it is always the exercise that I think I've been strongest in relative to body weight. And I just love it. It takes a lot of time to warm up for, to a lot of time to kind of prepare for. But when you see yourself lifting that amount of weight, it feels pretty good.
Nice. I'm only asking this because there was a colleague at work years ago who basically lifted so much that he's basically just done his back. Is that a risk, or like what went wrong there, do you think?
I mean, obviously it's difficult without knowing more about it.
Yeah. Not a consultation now, sorry.
Yeah, send him over. We'll have a quick chat. Any exercise, if done wrongly or with too much weight that you either is overfacing yourself or you've not warmed up for or you are slightly injured for, is going to pose a risk. That is the main thing. If you, especially with an exercise like deadlifts, it's so important that your form is good, that you warm up correctly, that you build up to a weight slowly and gradually, and don't try and overface yourself too much. Still, there is a risk that you're going to injure yourself, and there's plenty of incredible powerlifters who have torn things and got bulging discs and things, but you can minimize the risk as much as you can do. There's a risk in crossing the road. There's a risk in walking down the stairs, using your phone. There's risk to everything, and you've got to weigh up the cost benefit of that. And deadlifts are an incredible full body exercise, really good at building muscle, really good at strength work. And again, they just make you feel good when you can stick a load of weight on the bar and get that up.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, no, I like deadlifts as well. I like personally, I like doing like the tricep pull downs. There's something about those. Just like the feel of my triceps on those ones. I wanted to ask quickly about the deadlift again. Actually, I'm only just curious because someone, when I was working out, this is when I was in Norfolk, when I was working out there, someone said never, this is gonna be a bit visual, but like some people like do it like that, like they lift.
Yes.
Yeah, and someone said never do it where one hand is forward and the other's behind because you're at risk of tearing a bicep. Is that true?
Yeah, you are going to put a lot more strain on there, and at the very least, you are going to end up with some kind of imbalance, because if you kind of just feel it there is a difference in like lat activation and delta activation, all the thing between the sides. So unless you're going to switch hands for the equal number of movements, which no one's going to do, you're always going to be better off doing a double overhand grip with some kind of straps. The reason people do that is because their forearms are weaker than their back muscles and their leg muscles. And by doing an overhand underhand grip, you get a lot more strength out of your forearms, essentially, because the bar can't roll out. Whereas if you use straps or wrist wraps or something like that, then you can have a double overhand grip and get all the benefits without the risks and without your forearms being the weakest part, basically.
Nice, good to know. Yeah, see, I didn't know that, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this or listening to this probably don't either. So no,
get some chalk, get some good wrist wraps, and pull away.
Nice. Okay, this is the hardest one. I mean, what's your favorite life moment or life achievement?
Okay, wow. Again, very fortunate to have lots of those to pick from. Done lots of traveling, including with my parents, which is amazing for me. Love to spend such great time with them. I would say maybe graduating from uni and becoming a doctor. That's probably an obvious one, but it is the biggest achievement I think I've done to date. Could pick recently was a men's physique show, which was a big bucket list thing of mine to get ticked off. But I would have to say, graduating as a doctor, realizing that after so many years of hard work, getting a good place in London, being able to move down here and set up a career in this amazing city. That would have to be my proudest achievement for sure. What about you?
Nice. Yeah. That's there. Like knowing that day when I found out I passed my exams and going to be a doctor. I remember that day very vividly. And that was my parents were there at the time. I told them, and that was something really special.
Do you ever still kind of remember it now? Because it doesn't happen as often as it used to, but occasionally, sometimes at work, I will just think, oh yeah, I did that. Like I am a doctor.
Less so, you're right. Less so now. Now is probably the first time in a little while, but yes, I have occasionally been like, wow, yeah, like you get so used to it, don't you? Because you're with doctors and you're just doing your job, and you sometimes just forget, actually, no, this is quite an important, very important job, and you've worked really hard to get to where you are and stuff like that.
And it's a privilege to do our job. You forget that when it's difficult, but when you have a good patient or you have someone that really appreciates your time and they say, thank you, doctor, that really does feel, that's why we do it.
Definitely. And I think I'm seeing that a lot more in psychiatry. Of course, sometimes in psychiatry, we're having to do intervention that the patient may not want. And I think that can be very tricky. But actually afterwards, or, family, etc., they understand, and being thanked and getting that gratitude, I think, is really important. I think up there for me as well, and I'm not saying this because I have to, I'm saying this because I want to, just in case she's listening, is meeting my partner, Abby. I think she's really, like, this sounds ridiculous, but I don't think the full circle, because I did it as like as a radio show years ago. I don't think I would have been able to have brought it back without having her and supporting me with it. And because it is tough to do this and work, and actually she's been so supportive about this, but also just she's anchored me and she's really helped me become a better person. And I like to think that maybe we've helped each other as well along the way, but genuinely she's been by far the better half, and without her there wouldn't be the full circle. I wouldn't be doing this. So that side of it as well, I think it's really important to acknowledge that for me as well. But both of those are, without being a doctor, I wouldn't have met Abby, and without Abby, this wouldn't be happening. So, a full circle right there.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh my goodness, sorry to go soppy there. Right. How does Subfocus Off the Ground link to the next song on the full circle?
Subfocus have done a remix of a Bring Me the Horizon song called Mother Tongue, which is quite an interesting one. But it was a way for me to go from Subfocus to Bring Me the Horizon. And actually, Bring Me the Horizon have definitely dabbled with quite a lot of EDM before. Ammo was quite EDM influenced, and Songs to Listen To, if you've ever listened to that, is a very interesting mix. I'm a big fan of that as something a little different. So the next song is going to be Bring Me the Horizon, Can You Feel My Heart, off CM Paternal, which, similarly to you, is an album that I only got into in retrospect. Sorry, That's the Spirit was the album that I really got me into listening to Bring Me the Horizon. And then I went back and listened to their earlier stuff, which I didn't really appreciate at the time, but fell in love with. And now that's probably my favorite album of all of theirs. I am desperate to see them live because I've never managed to see it, which is such a shame. They are really high on my bucket list of people to see.
Nice. Bring Me the Horizon, Can You Feel My Heart? Okay, well, let's do it. We managed to see them at Leeds Festival this year, which was, we just did Out a Day Festival pretty last minute-y, because we were going to do Reading, and then it worked out with football, so it all just worked out. It was a bit, but yeah, they're epic. They were so good. I think their show is on point. So when they're back on tour, hopefully they'll announce the tour at some point.
We should definitely get tickets and try and see them, because I would love to see them. And interestingly as well, they tend to, especially this song, Can You Feel My Heart, tends to get sampled a lot at EDM gigs, especially the heavier stuff. They'll play that line and a good proportion of the crowd will just lose their minds.
Nice. That's cool. Okay. Bring Me the Horizon, Can You Feel My Heart, the fourth song on the full circle. Right, you've got one song left, but before that, I want to do a BuzzFeed quiz. So you've already mentioned this. Actually, I want you to talk, well, if you want to talk about it, you can. You mentioned about doing the bodybuilding contest. I mean, what an experience. How did you find it all?
It was amazing. It was, I mean, we've talked about medicine and how difficult that was over a long period. This was the most difficult, intense thing I've ever done. It took a lot of preparation, especially that last month and a half when I was at a very low body weight, because it was men's physique, which is a subcategory of kind of bodybuilding, trying to diet down to 6-ish% body fat, doing cardio every day, still training in the gym despite eating very little, just trying to keep the mental capacity of work and everything, juggling all of those things. It was so difficult. And I went through quite a lot of existential crises on the elliptical, wondering why I was doing this. But had been a bucket list thing, managed to get through and do the show and absolutely loved it. And being on stage for that was just a really unique experience. And was also part of my overall plan to stop taking the gym so seriously, because it's something I have revolved my life around for a long time. And I think that it's about time I stopped maybe taking that so seriously, doing a bit more running since then. Going to be able to travel for 4 months without feeling like I'm tied to going to the gym multiple times a week. So that's going to be a positive change. But yeah, it was fantastic. Absolutely loved it.
What an incredible experience. Would you do something like that again, or was that a one and done, do you think?
Never say never, but I have no desire to do it ever again. It was amazing and great, but so much work and so much pain for a couple of minutes on stage. Not even that, really.
When you say it like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, fair play to you. I mean, I saw the pics. Incredible.
Thank you,
Absolutely incredible. And this is, it's interesting you spoke about this. We know what kind of gym rat you are based on these 10 questions.
Okay. Maybe I'll find out about myself.
Yeah. Are you a cardio queen or a bodybuilder? I mean...
Are those the only two options?
Well, no. I'm sure
Okay.
there'll be others. There'll be others. Like, based on all the questions.
Maybe I've been shoehorning myself into the wrong category all these years. I should have been a cardio queen.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, if there's something else. Who knows? How much time... There are options, by the way. There are options. How much time... So go for like the closest one. How much time do you typically spend at the gym? 20 minutes, an hour, 45 minutes, or 2 hours?
I mean, it's normally between 1 and 2 hours with warming up, doing the workout, maybe a bit of cardio at the end, probably about an hour and a half. So should we round up and say 2, I suppose?
Yeah, I think if it's closer to, let's say 2 hours.
By the time you've got in, you've got changed, you've warmed up, you've done all your exercises. I normally do a little bit of cardio afterwards. Yeah, it's a big commitment.
That's a long session. I would have put 45 minutes if it was me. And how much of that time is spent on your phone? The options are: I never look at my phone, I only go on my phone to change music, less than 25% or 50% or more.
I only go on the phone to change music. Apart from when I'm on the elliptical afterwards, if I'm doing like a cool down or something like that, then I will be doing things. But yeah, during the workout, only to change music. I used to until relatively recently, I just had an iPod Classic that would take, and I just had that. I used to put my phone in the locker and just have the music playing through an old iPod Classic.
Oh wow, fair. Okay, proper old school that is. How long do you spend getting ready for the gym? So the options are: no time, I get up and go, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or 30 minutes.
I mean, I would have thought no time, I get up and go is roughly 5 minutes. Let's say 5 minutes. There are times when I will literally get up, get ready as I would do for the day, and get a drink and go out the door.
So you're saying 5 minutes?
Yeah, minimal amount of time.
Fine. How many... Sorry, I might be outing you here. Okay. How many gym selfies do you take per session? None, 2, 9, or 20?
I will have to say none, actually. I've not something I tend to do. I'm very much focused on the workout. I find it really cringy when people take photos in the gym or even recording the sets. I can understand, especially if it's for a trainer or if it's to check their form. But when people are full off, some people take the shirt off in the gym and look at themselves in the mirror. I think it's so cringy. I can't get behind that. No one wants to see that.
No, well, you know, if whatever floats your boat, you know what I mean? But I agree. Like, I don't get it either. I don't get why, you're right. People are there to work out, not to see, like, you know what I mean? Right, let's go for none. I agree. Okay, I'm curious to know. Would you rather, there's 4 choices though. Okay. Would you rather lift or run? And obviously the choices are lift, run, or both, or neither.
Well, there's not going to be neither. When it says both, does it mean in the same session or just in general? I mean, in general, lift and run, because that's what I'm doing now, and I love running. And it was something that I wasn't able to do for a good chunk because it interfered with my recovery. Over the 6 months of dieting for the show, running was just something that I wouldn't have been able to recover from on top of everything else. So it's something that I wasn't able to do for a good chunk. So since then, getting back to running has been amazing, and I'm really enjoying that.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely both. It's important to do both, unless you're taking it really seriously and you're trying to go on stage or you're trying to do it as a professional or something. You need that blend of cardio and resistance training.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty gutted at the moment. My knee's been injured for a little while. I've been having physio since May, and I still can't run. I couldn't do the the Royal Parks half marathon earlier this month. Shabby did. She smashed it. But I'm actually going to be having an MRI scan soon to see what's going on, just because they're thinking this is going on a bit too long.
I'm sorry, man. Injuries, they're so difficult. They take such a long time, and even if it is making progress with the physio and stuff like that, it's such a difficult thing because if you do your physio every day, the benefit you don't really see. You're just trying to prevent something happening or occurring. Hopefully you get something from the MRI and they can find out what's going on and give you a solution, because must be really frustrating.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. Thank you. Fingers crossed. I don't know what you go for here. What kind of music do you listen to when working out? Hip hop, techno, country, or no music?
I mean, from those very minimal choices, it would be techno. I do listen to some hip hop, and we're going to be kind of coming on to some rap later on. But yeah, techno. I listen to a lot of EDM sets nowadays, like sets on YouTube and things of acts that I've seen or want to see. The most music that I really listen to, though, is rock and metal in the gym. That's when I listen to Linkin Park and listen to some of my old indulgences from high school and things like that. That music choice hasn't changed much since then. There's still My Chemical Romance on the workout playlist and all of those legacy bands.
Incredible. Okay, I will put techno down for this then.
Definitely not country. Does anyone listen to country in the gym? Don't know if I could get fired up for a lift listening to country.
Yeah, maybe there's like hardcore country.
Maybe I should give it a try.
Maybe there's a hardcore country mix on Spotify. Try it out and see if it.
I'll get back to you.
How loud are you in the gym? I'm pretty quiet. Somewhere in the middle. The whole gym can hear me grunt and drop my weights. My music is too loud, so I'm not sure.
Definitely not the grunting and dropping weights. Again, that's something. The grunting, as long as it's not ridiculous, can kind of understand. Dropping weights is something that has always got on my nerves. I'd say I'm pretty quiet, but maybe average. Let's go for the second one.
What, somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, somewhere in the middle. I don't really know what that means, though. It's very difficult to put these into context. Let's just go for that one.
I reckon that would be like, you probably like occasionally like, exhale.
Occasionally breathe. That's a very low bar for somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're trying to really push yourself, you should be grunting at least somewhat on the last couple of reps. So yeah, let's go for somewhere in the middle.
Oh, I wonder what you're going to describe yourself here. I mean, it's certainly not the... Yeah, okay. How experienced are you in the gym? Beginner, intermediate, expert, or extreme expert?
I mean, I feel like extreme expert is going to be just like Jeff Nippard and elite powerlifting. I mean, I've been going for over a decade at this point, so I'd say expert, I suppose. My job revolves around that. I educate people on this, so hopefully I'm not blowing my own trumpet to say too much.
I don't think so. I'd use the word expert for you as well, definitely. And I'd probably call myself, like, even though like I still think I'm a beginner, I probably still would call myself an intermediate, like at this stage. I've been going for a little while, but there's still so many things I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think beginner is when you've only been going for a couple of months or so. Yeah, I think you cross out a beginner quite quickly, really. And I think intermediate's probably quite a long stage.
Yeah, exactly. How many people do you go to the gym with? Do you go by yourself?
Just me. I have done, and I do enjoy working out with other people, but I like the flexibility of going on my own. And I've never struggled with motivation, which is the thing. I'm just in the habit of going. So it's not even about motivation. It's just about the discipline and going on a regular basis. So I like the flexibility of being able to go at this time and come back at this time and do what I want to with the rest of my day. I would get very frustrated if I had to try and match someone else's schedule or wait around for them and things. There's obvious benefits, but
I thought you were about to say weight as in like changing the weights, because obviously that's going to be an issue as well for you, like because you do use probably different weights as maybe someone else.
Yeah, I suppose the ideal is when you're with someone who's at a similar point with you and is a similar strength level. But I go to the gym as a bit of an escape. Like I will put music in, I'll put a set on, and it will be my time, or even just not listen to music at all sometimes, but my time to decompress and to focus on something different. And I love social aspects of it sometimes. Like I will talk to people in the gym because I know people there. But when I'm doing my workout, I very much like to lock in.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, sometimes Abby and I will do workouts together, but most of the time I'll go by myself. And
I feel like that's a different thing. It's like when I go for a long, proper run versus the run club. There's a purpose there to be social. It's less about the running, and going with someone else to me is less about the lifting. It's more about the social aspect.
That's true. Yeah, it does depend. It does depend who. Like Abby and I will be pretty focused. I think there was one time we went as a 3, and that was hard work. That there was like 3 of us lads, and I found that hard work. No offense to those who are listening.
You sometimes see like groups of like 6 or 7 lads in there, and just think, how are you ever getting anything done?
Yeah. Okay, last but not least, I know what the answer is, but you can confirm. And wow, there's 2 choices. There's two choices you might say here. And finally, do you take supplements? The options are no, yes, occasionally. What are those?
Yes, I take quite a few supplements. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's going to be yes or occasionally. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but what just out of like curiosity?
Well, there's some that I would recommend everyone to take. The top 2 would be vitamin D and omega-3, especially in the UK, especially in winter, but even in summer for most people, we're all vitamin D deficient. And just a daily dose is recommended by the NHS, by NICE, by everyone. And omega-3 as well, unless you're getting daily oily fish. I think you could really benefit from an omega-3 tablet for healthy fats, for inflammation. I also take turmeric for the same kind of thing, inflammation control. I take creatine every day, really good for muscle and power, but also potentially for brain and heart health as well, we're finding out now. And I take magnesium to help with sleep as well.
Nice. I also take creatine and magnesium. Yeah.
Vitamin
the
D?
others are quite... Yes, vitamin D. Vitamin D as
vitamin
well.
D, good man. And omega-3, just taking omega-3.
No, I'm not taking that.
There you go, man. Get on it.
I will. Yeah, maybe the turmeric. I think we've got some turmeric around. So yeah, so maybe,
Yeah, it's easier to take it in a tablet because the amount of turmeric you need to add to things is quite a lot. So I would just get, a turmeric tablet.
Nice. No, thanks for this. Right. This is your... I think it is pretty accurate. Tell me what you think. You are the one who lifts. You're the one who stands out like a sore thumb in the free weight section while you're surrounded by a big group of strangers. You don't care what anyone thinks, and you have the kind of confidence everyone envies.
That's pretty complimentary. For a BuzzFeed quiz, I thought it was going to be a bit more sarky. But yeah, okay, I'll take that.
I mean, I've never seen it in the gym, but from the way you describe it, I reckon that's pretty close. What do you think?
Who would have thought? Yeah, I think so. Then that's probably... I know you've done a few BuzzFeed quizzes that haven't really mapped out to you, so maybe they're getting a bit more accurate. I also didn't really know that BuzzFeed was still going, if I'm honest. I thought they died out in the 2010s at some point.
They do. I don't really use it anymore. They do just have some stupid quizzes. This wasn't stupid. I mean, it was stupid, but it was also just... it also gets you to talk a bit about your gym routine.
Yeah, that's why I came on here. Don't bash the BuzzFeed quiz. It's given me some really good compliments. If it had come back with something different, then yeah, maybe we could talk rubbish about it. But
no, it's good. No, it's good. It's good. No. I mean, I just have a negative association with it because it always gets it wrong about me. Yeah. So I think that's the issue. Yeah. So I'm a bit jealous. I'm just jealous that he got it right about you. That's all.
Usually. Yeah. Usually the one.
Bring Me the Horizon. Can You Feel My Heart? How does that link to the last song on the Full Circle?
So Bring Me the Horizon released Posthuman in 2020, which was crazy, especially given that Parasite Eve was written before the pandemic. And then it was released during it, and it seemed so, especially if you listen to the lyrics of that song, Fantastic song, but so poignant given the time it was released. It was pretty, they talk about The Simpsons predicting the future, but maybe it should be Bring Me the Horizon. Love that album. Another band and a duo that I really like that released an album in 2020 is Run the Jewels. Fantastic rap duo. All of their albums are amazing. They released Run the Jewels 4 in 2020. My favorite album of theirs is probably Run the Jewels 3. And the fifth song off there is going to be Legend Has It from Run the Jewels.
Nice. Legend Has It, Run the Jewels, the last song on the Full Circle. Now, how does that link back to Red Hot Chili Peppers, the Zephyr song?
So on Run the Jewels 4, they have a song called Walking in the Snow, and another band that has a fantastic song with snow in the title is Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's probably a different type of snow that they were talking about, but
Heyo.
Very nice.
Hence completing the Full Circle. Yay! Thank you, Christian.
No worries.
Excellent. Some great song choices, and
Thank
an
you.
absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for coming on just before you're flying away. So that means a lot, and I'm great we're able to do this.
Thanks for having me.
No, pleasure. You've already given like a lot of advice and your own words of wisdom per se. I mean, Abid hopefully isn't too jealous, but have you got any more pearls of wisdom or some parting words for the Full Circle Nation before we end it off?
Yeah, I've really loved it. It's been really great to come on to have a talk to you. Really enjoyed putting this list together. It's actually a lot easier than I think it would be once you start making the connections. Love to come back and do some more niche ones or more themed ones, stick to the early 2000s and things. But yeah, no, it's been great. Maybe just go to bed early, get some good sleep.
Nice. Yeah. It's 8 p.m. Is this okay? Or is it a
just
bit late?
About? I mean, it's dead on 8 p.m. So I'll probably turn in straight away. Make sure I can get my solid 12 hours.
Have you stopped eating beef since listening to the show?
I've not, I'm afraid. I know, I'm sorry. I'm a heretic.
Okay. No, it's fine. You're not staying safe. But for everyone else, I'm just going to end it as I always do. Stay safe. Don't eat beef.